What up, guys? It's Nick back in here with another video, and today I figured this would be an interesting conversation because I've been getting this question a whole lot since I've been doing art, and that's pretty much as to how do you monetize your art, and that's pretty much the most important part of it. So in this video, I'm gonna give you three pretty much good tips I feel like will help when it comes to if you trying to monetize your art and you trying to put it out there and make money off of it because you want to make a full-time career out of it. Now, to be honest with you, I still haven't done that. I still have a job, but at the same time, it is a significant portion of my income. So I'm gonna give you all the tips that I do, the things that I do, things I feel like will help you as far as like getting yourself out there and growing your business, especially in the area that you're in. Alrighty, tip number one is pretty much to go outside. And like put your work out there as far as like conventions, little shows, like anything that you have around your local city to start out with. Now I started out going out of town, that's just me, because I always felt like people outside, I'm from Memphis, so people outside of Memphis have shown me more support than people in Memphis. I don't make the rules, that's just what happened for me. Now for you it might be different, so I think it may be best to just start with something local, try a couple shows. Now, don't be afraid to go out of town to a convention or something like that, because you might bring something new that's not there and they might like it, and you might jump off then. So it's always worth a shot to at least be willing to try it once. So tip number one, go to conventions, go to any shows, put your work out there, see how it tests on the open market, and then don't just go to one. You have to learn what's working and what's not working. You got to try new things. You're trying to start a business. The thing about business is that you have to have something that people want. If your artwork is nothing that really stands out or nothing that really has like a competitive edge, then it's not going to really take off like that. You have to have something that helps you step outside of the convention. Help step outside of, give you a competitive edge to where people will see it and be like, oh, I want that. As opposed to going over to somebody else's art. Both of y'all drew Invincible, but both of it's good. How is yours going to stand out? So that's the thing when it comes to that type of stuff. So you have to learn, things that you can try to maybe get it out there more. So like for example, maybe they drew Invincible on an art print, but you did it on a mouse pad. So you have a different thing than them. Like everybody in there has prints, but don't nobody in there got mouse pads. So you have a competitive edge when it comes to that. Now, everybody don't need a mouse pad, but at the same time, you have something that other people don't have. So that's something worth considering, something like that. Now that brings me to my next point. I'm glad I said mouse pads. Is that the different type of things you can sell at a convention or a show or anything like that, like here we have like 901 Day, that's our area code. So September 1st, that's when we have like a big get together downtown, and they have people out there selling their art, tent, or people sell fragrances or whatever they selling. You can sell whatever down there. Like go to stuff like that, and you have that, and the things that you sell can be different. So like if you're at a convention, like I mostly sell art prints, my shoes. I got one I'm working on right now. This is a Venom pair. So, I see my art prints, my shoes, my, shadow boxes. You can do buttons, you can do stickers, you can do shirts, you can do, comics, you can do craft work. I've seen somebody make like Pokeballs with the Pokemon in them with like little trees growing next to it. It was cool. Like, people do all type of things at these conventions. So you have to have something that really stands out. So if you're doing that, then you'll be cool. So just go to that and try to find something that you can make that gives you that competitive edge to where people will choose your table as opposed to somebody else's. All right, the number two tip is to sell online. So mainly like get your own website, get your own, Instagram if you want to use Instagram as your selling point. I got a website, but most of my business do come from Instagram or YouTube or somewhere like that. Like have platforms to where you broadcast your stuff and people see all of your artwork displayed, so they can, they might be just say, oh, how much is this? I get that all the time under my YouTube videos. How much is this? Or can I get that? Or anything like that. So You know, make sure you're not networking, you're broadcasting it to where people can see it, and then that way you can take orders from there. And a good tip from that would be to never stop taking orders. I mean, even if you do get bagged up, just tell people like, hey, look, realistically, you're not gonna get this till February. You know, if I take an order right now, you're not getting it till February. It's just what it is. You know, I want to get it to you, but hey, if I do the best I can, I try to get it to you early as I can. But like, I want you don't have the expectation of getting this on January the 10th. Don't have the expectation of getting this soon. So you know, it's like, if you want to order, you can order, but I want to give you a reasonable time frame for when you're going to get it. So, and another thing is, when you're doing online is, you know, I hate it, but you got to pay to play sometimes. You got to run some ads so people can see your stuff. You know, if you have the thing that people are willing to do, that people are willing to see and willing to pay for, running ads can help you. Now, this goes back to what I said in the previous tip, is that you have to make sure you have a competitive edge over people. Like me painting the shoes and stuff like that, it's a lot of people that paint shoes. No. Why would people choose my shoes over somebody else? You know, so that's the thing. So like, most of the time I have good word of mouth business. Let me say that. That's the reason why I don't run a lot of ads, because that tends to help me a lot. Is that once my customer retention rate is really good. So once I, you know, do business with somebody once, I normally retain them. You know, it's some people that haven't come back, but most of the time they'll come back for a second order, third order, whatever, and then I'll keep going from there. But you know, make sure that you still have that competitive edge to where people want to keep coming back to you, as opposed to being like, okay, you know, I paid him for this, but you know, it was cool. Customer service was kind of, you know, I want to go over here and try somebody new. So you want to keep that retention rate high. So that's the main thing about doing online, is that you have to make sure it's out there to where people can see it, and to where people can be happy to keep shopping with you over and over again and retain those same customers. All right, and tip number 3, my final tip for today, is networking. This is by far, and I do mean by far, the most important tip. Is networking is probably how you will get 80% of your business. Like, so even with like I said, selling online and stuff like that, like, yeah, that was just gonna be some random people that saw your stuff and liked it, and that were bold enough to message you and say, hey, I liked it, can I buy it from you? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's gonna be few and far between. Like, it's very rare that I get somebody to just, oh, click on my website and buy something that's on there just like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, because you know, it's not Target, it's not Walmart, it's not like a, you know, well-known website. You don't know if you're getting scammed or not. So you know, but when you're networking, that's where most of the business is gonna come from. So like, for example, I give you a story. I just did a shoot for a guy that I met him at a convention, but as we were sitting next to each other, we were talking, and I found out that he works for St. Jude, the hospital, children's hospital. I guess it's children's hospital. But he told me that he was gonna get back with me later. You know, I thought he was just talking, like a lot of people say that, but hey, you know, some people do, some people don't. But he got back with me and said, hey, nigga, you know, I'm ready to put my order in. Like, you know, this date I wanted before Christmas or whatever. So he said, hey, I said, okay, how many shoes do you want? He was like, I want to make 7 pairs. I'm like, 7 pairs? Oh God. You know, he said he wanted 7 pairs, and he wanted the Memphis Tiger theme on it, like their jerseys. And so I was like, okay. It's the design was pretty simple, because I showed him the design when we was at the convention. So the design was pretty simple. So I knew I could easily make 7 pairs. But the thing is, I had to fit him in with some other stuff. You know, he said it by then, but like, thing is, 7 shoes, we negotiated the price while we were talking, and then boom, I got right to it. I finished like a day early. Like, he wanted them by the 23rd. I think I finished them on the 22nd. You know, so I ended up finishing it, and then we met up. I dropped the shoes off, and then I got paid. So, you know, that's just how it works. And then, like, even with certain other companies, like, I think I had a shoe order for some people at Adidas. They sent me the shoes. They told me what they wanted. We networked. We got on a Zoom call. We talked about it, and then I sent them the shoes back. I painted them what they wanted on it and sent them the shoes back. Deal. You know, and then they paid me the money, like just like that. Like we negotiated the price up front, and then we good. Like once we come to something we all agree on, we cool. You know, so and that's part of and that's the biggest thing about networking. So once I do business with them, when I did the deal with the people at Adidas, shortly after that, I got hit up by somebody else that worked with those other guys saying, "Hey, such and such sent them to me. So you did business with them. We want to get some shoes made for us too." Cool. And then I did 4 more. You know, so that's just, you know, that's the nature of it. So networking is always gonna be the biggest thing. I get continuous work from certain companies from just, you know, from just being able to I did something for them before. They'll say, "Hey, where did you get that?" Okay, this guy Nick, he, you know, they'll send that person my information. That person reaches out to me, boom, deal. Like, and you know, it keeps me busy all the time. Like a lot of the times when I say I got orders and stuff like that, it's something for a company. Oh, we need 5 shoes for event they have it on their at their warehouse or something like that. Or it could just be something random, like, in Indianapolis, we're Colts fans. Can you make us Colts shoes? Okay, boom, do that, quick and easy. Like that's the easiest way that I would say to continuously keep business coming in. Networking will always be the best way. Now, one thing I will say about networking as well is get out there and go to some hotels, go to some stores, like maybe some, like for my example, like, you know how I got the shoes on the canvases back there, stuff like most of my already got shoes on it, right? Most of my canvases. So all like the sneaker resale stores and all that, yeah, I'm taking that in there. Yeah. How y'all feel about art? You know what I'm saying? So like and then I'll even do the consignment thing where I'll let the paint sit in there, and if it sell, they'll pay me out right then, or you know, they take half of it, I take half of it, you know, that type thing. So that mainly is my thing right there. So I make deals like that. My thing is that you have to build the relationships and establish connections with people, so that way that you can continue to have the money coming in. Because it's easy when people say, "Hey, they call me and say, hey Nick, they bought your canvas. Here go your payout. You know, can you get another one in here for me?" Yeah, cool. Boom, just like that. And we're have it sent there. It's just like that. Like it's easy money. Like that's how you want to get it to where it flows. Because a lot of this stuff, like once I made it once, I could just keep reprinting the canvas over and over again. Easy money. Now I've already done the work, so the only thing that really kind of keeps me hemmed up a lot is doing the shoes. So, but yeah. Oh, this one too. This one, people hate to do this, and this really, it helps me a lot, but I don't know how, you know, other people will feel about it. I know most people don't like it, but don't be afraid to do some free work if it's going to establish a connection with a certain group of people that will support you. So like, for example, at my job, I've made my manager some shoes before, and that helped. Like I didn't get no promotion. Let me say that. I didn't get no promotion. However, it do earn you favor with certain people. And me doing that did allow me to build some, to establish, that's how I got the connection with the people at Adidas. Is because my manager knew somebody that worked at Adidas, and he showed them the shoes that I made, and then they reached out to me. So doing that free work ended up making me money in the long run. So that's kind of, you know, how you have to think about it. It's like, it's an investment up front. It might bear fruit, it might not. You planted the seed, there might be fruit at the end of that tree, it might not be. So that's kind of the thing you kind of have to go with, is maybe it will be, maybe it won't be. So I hope these tips help as far as monetizing your business and stuff like that. Like, you've got to find a way to collect payment and all that too. Like I thought that'd be obvious. Like, go to Square, get your Square reader, or if you got a newer iPhone, you can use that as your tap payment. But I would still get a Square reader, so that way you can take chip cards, and then get you a website to where you can take payments online. So even if you ain't got the Square reader, you can say, hey, here, I'm gonna make a listing real quick. You buy it off there, and then you know, make sure you're marketing your stuff. Like I said, ads, online. Make sure you're posting. And I'm terrible at posting. But at the same time, you know, you still got to do it. I post on YouTube pretty regularly, but Instagram and TikTok and all that, nah, man, I cannot keep up with all that. So, but the point is, I said all that to say, keep working, you know, keep doing your thing. Long as you're making art, you always have the opportunity to make money. The thing about art is you have to know how to do business out of it.